So, you want to own a touchless car wash. I get it. It sounds like the perfect business. A concrete box, some steel, a few high-pressure pumps, and money dripping in while you sleep. No drunk waiters, no perishable food, no complaints about undersalted soup. Just customers pulling in with their Ford F-150S, Teslas, and Rams, paying with a credit card, and you waking up richer. It sounds like a fairy tale, right? The U.S. car wash industry is worth over $15 billion annually. Touchless washes take a fat slice of that pie because Americans are obsessed with their vehicles. But here is the catch. 80% of new car wash owners close within the first 3 years or sell at a loss. Why? Because they looked at Excel spreadsheets instead of real bills for water, electricity, and inverter repairs. Today, we are tearing this industry apart without rose-colored glasses. We are counting every nut, every bag of cement, and every cent of operating expenses. We are answering the big question. How much money do you really need to build a touchless wash from scratch in 2026? And how much will you actually take home at the end of the month? We are talking money, brutally, cynically, and as honestly as possible. Buckle up. This is a long ride, but you need it. Before we dive into your wallet, let us get the basics straight. In the U.S., there are 3 main formats. Tunnel conveyor washes. These are the giant machines where you put your car in neutral and get pulled through brushes, dryers, and wax. Expensive, starting at $2 to $6 million. They require a crew of 5 to 10 people, but handle up to 150 cars per hour. Self-service washes. The old-school bays with coin acceptors where you spray the car yourself with a wand. Low entry barrier, from $300,000, but low margins and tons of vandalism. Touchless in-bay automatic. This is our topic. The customer pulls into a bay. The car stays stationary. A gantry with nozzles moves back and forth around it. No brushes, just water pressure and chemicals. It is the golden middle ground. Why touchless? Because it is an unmanned business. You do not need full-time employees. Just one technician for every 3 locations. That reduces payroll taxes and HR headaches. Second, touchless washes are loved by owners of new, expensive cars. They are terrified of brush scratches. That means your average ticket will be higher. But there's a devil in the details. A touchless wash cleans worse than a brush tunnel if the car is caked in mud after off-roading. Your chemistry has to work flawlessly. Your water must be spotless. Otherwise, you get spots. Reputation is built on quality here, and one bad Google Maps review can kill your traffic for a week. So we are agreed. We are building a modern, touchless in-bay automatic on purchased land in a suburban area near a major city or on a highway with solid traffic. Now, the main event. Grab a calculator. We are splitting costs into 3 categories: land, building, and infrastructure, and equipment. I am not giving you rainbows from equipment dealers. I am giving you 2026 market realities for states like Texas, Florida, Georgia, or North Carolina. No snow, but plenty of heat and dust. First, land. You cannot put a wash in a rented space unless it is an old gas station. Building on a lease is stupid because the landlord will jack up your rent after 2 years when you are established. Commercial land prices per acre vary. Nationwide, average for a good corner lot on a busy intersection is $500,000 to $1,200,000 per acre. You need about 3/4 of an acre for drive-in, drive-out, and a waiting queue for at least 5 cars. Land total, approximately $750,000. Second, site work and building. You bought the land. Ready to drop the gantry? No. Here comes the expensive part. Civil work. Clearing and grading, $15,000 to $25,000. Paving and concrete. You need reinforced concrete that can handle delivery trucks. Minimum 6 inches thick. The Bay Plus approach roads are about 20,000 square feet. Concrete with installation right now is $6 to $8 per square foot, total approximately $140,000. Underground utilities, water, sewer, and storm drain. This is hell. You have to manage stormwater runoff. The EPA requires oil water separators. If you dump dirty water into the municipal sewer without a permit, the fine will eat your annual profit. A drainage system with trenches, pipes, septic, or municipal hookup will run you $80,000 to $120,000. The building itself, steel frame or concrete block, plus glass display windows, an equipment room, and a vestibule. Turnkey. Building construction, $250,000 to $350,000. Site and construction total, approximately $650,000. Third, equipment. The heart of the beast. This is the gantry with nozzles, high-pressure pumps up to 2,000 psi, reverse osmosis systems for final rinse to prevent water spots, air compressors, water heaters if it gets cold, and most importantly, the automated pay station with a touchscreen and card reader. A mid-tier portal from brands like Mark VII, PDQ, or Westergaard, used and refurbished, $60,000 to $90,000. Not recommended for beginners. New premium equipment, $250,000 to $450,000, plus a 50-gallon water heater, $6,000. A compressor station, $8,000. Water softening and RO system, $15,000. Fully cashless start and coin counter, $10,000. Fire suppression inside the bay, $5,000. Equipment total, approximately $320,000. Let us summarize capital expenses. Land, $750,000. Site work and asphalt, $140,000. Underground utilities, $100,000. Building shell, $300,000. Equipment, $320,000. Subtotal, $1,610,000. But that is not all. You forgot permits, engineering, and architectural plans, $30,000 to $50,000. Marketing, signage, and LED banners, $25,000. Commissioning and training, $10,000. A contingency fund in case you hit bedrock while digging, $50,000. Final capital expenditure, approximately $1,800,000 to $2 million. If you do not have this cash, the bank will only lend to you if you have 25 to 30% equity. That means you need $500,000 to $600,000 in liquid cash just to start the conversation with a loan officer. Plus, the bank will want collateral, your house or another business. So, you dropped $2 million. You opened. Now, the fun begins. The monthly grind. Most people calculate water and electricity and forget the hidden killers. First, water and sewer. An average touchless wash uses between 25 and 40 gallons per car. With a recycling system, it drops to 15 gallons, but equipment costs go up. Without recycling at 100 cars per day, 3,000 per month, that is 90,000 gallons per month. U.S. commercial water rates vary wildly. In California, it is $6 to $8 per 1,000 gallons. In the South, about $2 to $3. Average, $4.50 per 1,000 gallons. Water bill, approximately $400 per month. But sewer discharge is often calculated as 80 to 100% of incoming volume and can cost more than the water itself. Total water and sewer, approximately $900 to $1,200 per month. Second, electricity. You have powerful pumps, up to 30 kilowatts, heaters, and blowers for drying. In winter, heating water spikes your bill by 30%. Average consumption, 1,500 to 2,000 kilowatt hours per month. U.S. commercial rate, 12 to 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Monthly electric bill, approximately $250 to $350. Third, chemicals. This is the most unpredictable line item. Alkaline, acid, foam, shampoo, and wax have gone up 20 to 30% in the last 2 years. In a touchless wash, chemicals are everything. Without good chemistry, You will not remove road film, and the customer leaves unhappy. Cost per car, approximately 80 cents to $1.20 for mid-range concentrates. At 3,000 cars per month, $3,000 to $3,600. If you use premium branded chemicals at $2 per car, double that. Fourth, maintenance and repairs. This is the biggest trap. The gantry is mechanical. Sensors fail. Seals wear out. Hydraulic cylinders die. High-pressure hoses burst. Bang! $500 for replacement. Average breakdown per month, $300 to $500 if you can fix some things yourself. If you call a service tech and wait weeks for one, it is a $150 trip charge plus $150 per hour. Average monthly repairs and parts budget, $500 in a good month and $2,000 in a bad one, when the variable frequency drive fries. Fifth, insurance. Not a joke. If someone slips on your wet concrete, or a car's brakes get wet and they crash, even if it is not your fault, you are getting sued. Commercial general liability and property insurance for a car wash, $350 to $700 per month. Sixth, payment processing fees. In 2026, 90% of payments are cashless. Americans do not carry quarters. They tap Apple Pay or swipe cards. Average merchant processing fee, 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. If your average ticket is $15, that is about 75 cents per car. 3,000 cars times 75 cents equals $2,250 per month given to the banks. Seventh, accounting, taxes, and legal. Even with no employees, you must file with the IRS. A bookkeeper or outsourced service runs $200 to $400 per month, plus annual state filings, about $500 per year. Eighth, trash removal and landscaping. Customers leave coffee cups, cigarette butts, and napkins. You have to sweep. If you do not, your place looks trashy and customers leave. Dumpster rental, $150 per month. A cleaner, if you hire someone for 2 hours a day, another $400 per month. Let us summarize monthly operating expenses with no employees yet. Water and sewer, $1,100. Electricity, $300. Chemicals for 3,000 cars, $3,300. Repairs and parts, $500. Insurance, $500. Merchant processing fees, $2,250. Bookkeeper, $300. Trash and cleaning, $550. Contingency for miscellaneous, $500. Total operating expenses, approximately $9,300 per month. Now add your debt service. If you borrowed $1.5 million at 7.5% for 20 years, your monthly bank payment is about $12,000 to $13,000. This means just to cover expenses, interest, and utilities, you need to gross at least $22,000 per month before you see your first dollar of profit. Now, let us talk incoming cash, your revenue streams. Basic wash, $10 to $13. Standard, $15 to $18. Premium, the works, $22 to $28. Memberships and unlimited wash clubs. Huge trend now. You sell unlimited monthly plans for $40 to $60. Genius for the owner, because you get paid up front, even if they only come once. Statistically, members wash 2.5 times per month, which lowers margin per wash but builds loyalty. Realistic traffic forecast. You will not do 200 cars per day in year one. That is a myth. Reality for a new Touchless on a decent street. Weekdays, 60 to 90 cars. Weekends, 120 to 180. Weighted average, 100 cars per day in year one. That is 3,000 cars per month. Average ticket. Customers rarely buy the cheapest package. They want shine. Smart owners price so that standard is the most popular. Let us say 40% by basic at $12, 40% by standard at $17, and 20% by premium at $25. Average ticket equals $16.60. Gross monthly revenue, 3,000 cars times 1660 equals $49,800. Now subtract everything. Gross revenue, $49,800 minus operating expenses, $9,300 minus loan payment, $12,500. Subtotal, $28,000. Seems like $28,000 is cool, but we forgot taxes. You are a U.S. business. You pay federal and state corporate tax. Depending on your structure, federal is about 21% plus, state from 0 in Texas up to 8.5 in Iowa. Add self-employment tax if you do not pay yourself a salary. On average, the effective tax rate for a small U.S. business after all deductions and equipment depreciation is around 25 to 30% of EBITDA. But in year one, you can use Section 179 to depreciate 100% of equipment costs. That is huge. You might pay zero federal tax until you recover equipment cost. But we are looking long-term, year 2 to 3, after depreciation is gone. Let us deduct 25% of $28,000. That is $7,000 in taxes. Final net monthly profit, $28,000 minus $7,000 equals $21,000. But wait, you must set aside money for major capital repairs. The gantry needs pump overhauls every 3,000 hours. That is about every 2 years. Seal replacements, bearings, repainting the gantry due to corrosion from chemicals, $10,000 to $15,000 every 3 years. Replacing plastic bay panels that yellow. Recommended capital reserve, $1,500 per month. Subtract that from $21,000. You get $19,500. So your real take-home cash, what you can actually put in your pocket, is around $19,000 to $20,000 per month. But the math works on paper. Here are the factors they do not teach in business school. Weather dependency. You live in the U.S. If it pours rain for 2 weeks straight, like in Seattle, or there is a brutal heat wave of 100 degrees Fahrenheit plus in Arizona, people do not wash their cars. They stay home. In a bad month, traffic can drop to 40 cars per day. That is a 50% profit cut that month. Your loan payment stays the same. Can you survive 2 to 3 bad months a year? Vandalism and theft. Copper wiring gets stolen. Coin boxes get broken into. Wireless start systems can be jammed. This is a real U.S. problem. Your security costs for cameras, lighting, and security patrols we did not even include in operating expenses. If someone smashes your bay glass, that is another $2,000. Competition. The gas station across the street could set up a temporary wash for $5 tent and steal your traffic for a month. You are in the premium segment, but if a new $7 brush tunnel opens nearby that is faster, people might leave. You have to constantly invest in marketing. Google ads, Yelp, flyers, at offices. That is another $500 to $1,000 per month. The human factor if you hire a manager. We said this is an unmanned business. But who changes paper rolls in the pay station? Who sweeps the lot when you are on vacation? Who deals with a customer whose car did not dry? Eventually, you will need a part-time manager. Add $3,000 to $4,000 per month to expenses. That eats $4,000 of your net profit. If you buy an existing operating wash, you will pay a higher multiple, 4 to 5 times annual profit, but you will get historical traffic and utility bills. That reduces risk. But never trust the seller's word. Demand profit and loss statements for 3 years and cross-check car counts with credit card statements. 70% of sellers inflate numbers. As for building from scratch, that is for the patient. Construction timeline, 8 to 14 months. During that time, you are paying interest or rent with zero revenue. That adds another $100,000 to your losses before you even start. My brutally honest take. Real return on your $2 million invested is about 12 to 14% annually in a good year and 6 to 8% in an average year. That is better than a bank CD at 4%, but worse than a solid S&P 500 exchange-traded fund, and it requires a ton of sweat. Drop $2 million in an index fund and make about $160,000 per year lying on the couch. Build a car wash and make $240,000 per year in an ideal world, but have 24/7 headaches, lawsuits, employees, and pump replacements. Is it worth it? Yes. If you love building, scaling, and plan to own a chain of 5 washes, that is when economies of scale kick in. One technician for all sites, bulk chemical discounts of up to 40%, and lower processing fees at 2.2%. A single bay touchless is a way to preserve capital and give yourself a job with an $18,000 per month salary. It is a solid blue-collar small business, but it is not passive income. I have watched owners go broke. Here is their list of mistakes. Saving money on the foundation, bad geotech, the slab cracks, walls shift, and the gantry goes out of alignment. Repair, $50,000. Skipping a water reclamation system. In a drought year, they banned using city water for washing, and you shut down for 2 months, buying a cheap, slow gantry. It takes 5 minutes instead of 3. The queue builds up. People leave to your competitor who is faster. Poor lighting. Women are scared to pull into a dark bay at night. Your target audience is women over 40 driving SUVs. If they feel unsafe, you lose 50% of the market, ignoring social media. In 2026, customers find washes on TikTok or Instagram. If you do not have an account showing high-pressure water blasting mud off a pickup, you are invisible. Want to boost monthly revenue by 30% without increasing traffic? Implement a membership program. Have people pay $49.99 per month for unlimited washes. A non-member gives you about $16 per visit. A member pays $50 and comes 3 times. That is about $16.66 per visit. You are not losing. But the member feels like an insider. They do not price shop, they just roll in and wash. If you sign up 200 such members, which is easy in a year, that is $10,000 in guaranteed monthly revenue, rain or shine. 200 members times $50 equals $10,000. You pay bank processing fees on autopay, but that is minor. This makes your business recession resistant. Subscriptions save the industry during inflation. Is there a future for touchless? Yes, but only in a hybrid format. You install a gantry that does 80% of the body touchless. You add a pre-wash area where customers can spray wheels and rocker panels with a wand before entering. You add vacuum and interior wipe as a VIP upsell, extra $10 to $15. Americans love tunnels because they are fast at 3 minutes. Touchless takes 6 to 8 minutes. That is slow. But now, high-speed gantries cut time to 4 minutes. If you do not have speed, you lose. Outlook for 2026 to 2030. The industry is going green. Closed-loop water recycling will become mandatory in many states. That will raise capital expenses by another 30%, but lower operating expenses on water. Back to the headline. What does it actually cost? To open one touchless car wash from scratch in the U.S., you need $1.8 to $2.2 million upfront. Of that, $500,000 to $700,000 must be your own hard liquid cash. Real monthly take-home profit after all taxes and reserves. In an average month, $18,000 to $21,000. In peak season, summer and fall, up to $28,000. In a winter slump, $10,000 to $12,000, barely covering the loan. Payback period, at an average annual net of about $220,000 to $250,000, you are looking at 7 to 9 years to recoup your investment. That is long. To shorten it to 5 years, you need to hike prices 5 to 10% annually and aggressively upsell extras like air fresheners and mat drying. So, you want to own a touchless car wash. This is not a money printer. It is hard work managing fluids, electronics, and human behavior. But it is an honest business. It will never die because people will always drive cars and they will always want their metal to shine. If you have nerves of steel, a technical mindset, and a great CPA, go for it. If you are looking for easy money and thought the robot does all the work, go buy Microsoft stock. A car wash is a marathon, not a sprint. It is a business where location, reputation, and chemical quality matter most. If you are ready to invest in the best gantry, the best chemical brand, and the best concrete contractors, in 10 years, you will own a business worth $3 to $4 million that you can sell and retire on. Until then, grab a shovel, start digging, and may your reverse osmosis system never fail. Go for it. And remember, every drop of water on the pavement is $1 falling into your pocket, but only if you have counted every single penny first. That was the real, no BS breakdown of car wash ownership in the US. If you enjoyed the harsh truth, hit that like button and drop a comment.